Sierra Club's Grand Canyon chapter, which is the Arizona chapter. Today, we're celebrating the EPA's innovative step to strengthen the Soot standard to protect the public's health. PM 2.5, also known as soot, are small particles that are 30 times smaller than human hair. And they consist of things like metals, organic chemicals, acidic substances, and other materials that are created when we burn things, including fossil fuels. So fossil fuels burning in power plants, in our tailpipes, and especially with diesel vehicles and industry. This pollutant is among the leading causes of climate change behind carbon pollution. Much of our PM 2.5 here is associated with diesel exhaust here in Maricopa County area. And due to its small size, soot can penetrate our lungs, get into our bloodstream, causing really harmful impacts, including premature death, heart disease, aggravated asthma, decreased lung function, coughing, and difficulty breathing. The updated, they're called the National Ambient Air Quality Standards, and they're mandated by the Clean Air Act. These updated standards for particulate matter will help curb this deadly air pollutant that significantly harms our health. And that is responsible for more than 100,000 deaths in the United States every year. EPA's final standards for PM 2.5 will prevent up to 4,200 premature deaths and 270,000 lost work days. So these particulates, the soot, it not only contributes to people dying sooner, but it also contributes to people just not feeling well and missing out on work and school. And the benefits, the net health benefits, will be about $43 billion, which is a lot in 2032, and that's when the standards take full effect. While these standards did fail to strengthen the 24-hour standard, and we think that's important because it protects against these short-term spikes in air pollution, this is an important first step. Stronger standards will save lives. Stronger standards will prevent emergency room visits. This is an important step. And here to talk more about it is Will Humble. He's the executive director for the Arizona Public Health Association, and he will be followed by Pastor Aubrey Barnwell with First New Life Church and the African American Christian Clergy Coalition. Thank you. Will?
Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for the opportunity, Sandy. And I think you really covered the health effects part of this really well. I mean, one of the things I really like about these new EPA standards is they really focus on the most important part of the particulate air pollution, and that's those very fine particles that you were talking about, Sandy. Those particles that are less than 2.5 microns in size. And so these are the really very fine soot particles that are so small that when your nose can't catch it, your throat doesn't even catch the particle. It goes all the way deep into your lungs, into the lung sacs called the alveoli. And that's where they can cause the most damage with asthma episodes, and a very strong link between cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, and early mortality. So the new EPA standards are really focusing on the most important segment of the particulate air pollution, those very fine particles. The practical impact that we're going to see in Arizona is that Maricopa County, which is obviously where most people live, was compliant with the annual average PM particulate matter standards before this rulemaking, which would allow the Maricopa County District and the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality to sort of kick back on their laurels a bit and say, well, we're in attainment, we don't need to do anything more with particulate air pollution. But under these new standards, it's going to trigger, it's a call to action really to Maricopa County Air Quality District and DEQ, Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, to come up with new plans to implement new strategies to reduce the amount of particulate matter that's coming off of agricultural lands, industry, paved roads, even fireplace dust and smoke. So there's a lot of different sources that they're going to have to take a look at now to get back into attainment with these new standards, which I think are really good because they focus on, again, that very fine particulate matter component that does the most damage to humans, and it's a real call to action for Maricopa County Air Quality District and DEQ to come up with better strategies to clean up the air. Another thing I really like about this, the new EPA package, is that it prevents these air quality districts and environmental quality departments from placing their monitoring stations in places that they know are going to be clean. It says, the new standards say you have to put your monitoring stations in places where people actually live, like this neighborhood that we're in here down in South Phoenix right now. This is a perfect example of a place where there's all kinds of people all over the place, but there's also lots of industry and lots of open land and even agriculture nearby. And so we're in a part of the valley where we have that combination of lots of dust and dirt and smoke sources and lots of people. And this is the kind of place where we need a monitoring station so that we have a true picture of what's happening in Maricopa County. So there's a lot of attention on the fact that EPA moved the 24-hour particulate matter standard, and it's evidence-based, and it's really focused on the right part of particulate matter, I think. But almost equally important, these agencies across the nation, and including Arizona, are no longer going to be able to game the system by placing monitoring stations where they know they're going to get good readings. You have to place the monitoring stations after this in places where people actually live. And I think that it's going to honestly probably end up changing what we say is our annual average number, because they're going to have to move the monitoring stations into more realistic places. So with that, Pastor, come on up. Thank you for having us here. I mean, and your congregation for opening the doors to us this morning. It's an important topic. Thank you.
I want to thank you all for gathering here today as we address a matter that is significant, concern affecting health and well-being of our community in South Phoenix, as well as the surrounding metropolitan area. I stand before you not only as a pastor, but also as the chair for the African American Christian Clergy Coalition. As I stand here, I recognize that there is a necessity for us to collectively voice our concerns as a faith leader as well as community. The announcement from the EPA regarding the reduction of the PM 2.5 levels is not only a just policy change, but is also a pivotal moment for South Phoenix. The lowering of the PM 2.5 levels from 12 to 9 microns per square meter demands our attention and concerted action. It is a call to protect the health and vitality of our community. South Phoenix, as we are well aware, faces unique challenges with the PM 2.5, stemming largely from wood burning and fireworks. The record-breaking PM 2.5 observed on New Year's Day was 182, far exceeding the standard of 12, underscoring the urgency of the situation. The health implications, as already been spoken with Bill and Sandy, identified that we have a point of increased risk, respiratory ailments, and sadly, premature death. Adding to our concerns are the impending challenges related to the ozone, positioning us as a non-attainment area on the brink of being downgraded to serious. This necessitates necessitates us additional measures to control emissions, placing an additional burden on our community already grappling with environmental stressors. So furthermore, the recent EPA finding acknowledging Arizona's impact on other states' air quality, as highlighted in Arizona Soot press release, adds another layer of complexity. The forthcoming limitations on certain industries in 2027 call for a coordinated effort and strategic response from our community and beyond. So as leaders within the African American Christian Clergy Coalition, we understand the gravity of the situation, and our faith calls us not to only tend to the spiritual needs of our congregation, but also to be actively and engaging in matters that affect the very essence of our community, health, and prosperity. In collaboration with city and regional partners, we are actively exploring avenues for climate funding to comprehensively address these challenges. We recognize the urgency and are committed to swift action to protect the health and well-being of our congregation and our neighbors. I urge our community members to explore the available programs, such as the county's fireplace retrofit initiative vouchers, and the electric alternatives for lawnmowers and leaf blowers, and the fire pit replacement initiatives. Through collective effort, we can amplify the impact of these programs and work towards a healthier and more sustainable South Phoenix. Almost everyone knows that we were supposed to drink 8 glasses of water a day, and the quality of that water is a concern for all of us. It has been stated that we breathe approximately 11,000 liters of oxygen every day. So anything we can do to improve our local air quality is a benefit to us all. This Arizona Soot press conference is a call to government, agencies, to nonprofit organizations, and the wider community to unite in this effort. And so let us transcend political, ideological boundaries to safeguard the health and future of South Phoenix. Our prayers, our advocacy, and our collaborative action will remain steadfast for the well-being of our community. Thank you.
That was so good.
Thank you so much, Pastor Barnwell and Will. And just, to wrap things up, we want to thank everyone who has helped to promote the changes to this Soot standard. It did not come easy, and we especially want to thank the Environmental Protection Agency for moving forward with it. There's been a lot of political pressure to get them to back off. This is an important public health measure. This is an important environmental justice measure because those most affected by the fine particulate pollution are communities of color, including the one we're in today. And we must continue and move forward and push just as hard to see this rule implemented and to see those monitors move to where they should be. And we will all breathe